Good morning and welcome to my Just Dogs with Sherry podcast. It is Tuesday morning and Elsa and I have been back for a while from our walk, which is my outings with my dogs is where I get a lot of the subjects that I like to write about or talk about. And this morning is one. Nothing big happened this morning, but it just gave me an idea of what I wanted to discuss this morning, and that's humans reading humans. And although my life revolves around dogs, dog training, photography, writing, talking, you name it, it also extends into humans, of course, because dogs aren't just running amok all around by themselves. We are included in our dogs' lives. So as far as humans reading humans, this morning we were out on a walk, and I was hoping to get our walk in before the rain, which actually happened. It started raining as soon as we got back, and now the sun is out for a while, so that's nice. So when we're out on a walk, and this morning one other couple was walking our way. There wasn't very many because it was a cold and rainy morning. I always, as most of you know, or many of you know, that Elsa was attacked several years ago, and since then she needs space, and that comes with dogs that she doesn't know. So she doesn't like to just go up to dogs that she doesn't know. She doesn't trust them. She has every right not to trust them because she got attacked kind of out of the blue, and so she just needs a little bit of space. So when somebody is coming down a path and they're coming our way, typically what I do is I will move her to the right side of me so that I am in between the other dogs and her. And that's normally enough for her, and she's relaxed because she realizes that if anything happened, I'm going to step up. And of course, depending on the other people, what they're doing with their dogs and the other dogs is how much space she needs. But normally, that's all I need to do. When it goes wrong is when people have their dogs on the end of a very long leash, extension leash, or just regular leash, and they just don't pull their dogs in. They don't rein them in. And that can cause us to have to actually leave the pathway, sometimes walk up a hill just to give her some space, which is totally not right. If we've had people follow us, even when I get off the path with Elsa and, they keep coming our way and I'm trying to get more space. So at this point, I'm in the middle of a field and they're still coming. So these people seem oblivious to my body language, clearly stating, I am not interested in an interaction. And they will yell out to me, can my dog see your dog? And, I'll just say, no, she's not comfortable around strange dogs. And a lot of times they're offended, or they're like, well, my dog is super friendly, which again, doesn't matter how friendly your dog is. There are times when Elsa wants to interact with other dogs, and I allow her, I respect her right to choose who she would like to meet and who she does not want to meet. If she sees a dog that's very young and clearly non-threatening and she seems interested to meet, we will meet, as long as there's a couple of things. As long as there's no leash tangling, the dog is not on a pinch or prong collar, we will not meet dogs on those. And as long as I feel like I'm reading the dog's body language and getting it the same as her, and I should just trust her judgment because she's an amazing reader, but I have the final say whether yay or nay we are meeting or not. So I guess basically what I'm trying to get at is that humans are not near as competent as dogs in reading body language. And I'm not even talking about dogs' body language. I am talking about humans reading other humans. And it's funny because we don't communicate solely through body language. Dogs mostly do. Of course, they'll use growls and yips and things like that. But Mostly all their communication is done through body language. So they are master body language readers. We have kind of lost that, but my husband and I were watching a show the other night and the sound went off, and I sat there fascinated because I think it was the news. The people who were speaking were saying so much just with their body language that we miss when you have vocal, when you have verbal to listen to. You tend to not watch someone's body, and they were saying a lot with their body because we couldn't hear any words. The sound had gone out. So it's so interesting. Now, when I rein Elsa in, that should be enough, and put her on the other side of me, that should be enough to tell anyone that we are not interested in an interaction, and that they in turn need to rein their dogs in. Now, this morning when we were walking, it was a couple and they had 2 dogs, one each, on an extension leash. And it took them a very long time to rein them in. I actually had to stop walking forwards because I was going, again, I was trying to signal to them, rein your dogs in. We were in a spot where I really couldn't get too much distance because of the recent rain. There was a hill and it was really muddy, and I could just imagine myself going up this hill and sliding and wiping out and being covered in mud. So I stopped, which was letting them know that I needed them to rein their dogs in. And I'm fine. As long as their dogs are even a foot away from me, that's going to work. But I do not want to have to, go through a maze trying to get around their dogs with my dog, because I am keeping my dog in control. And that's part of the whole etiquette thing. When we have dogs, we have to have a certain degree of etiquette for other people and their dogs. And this is why I have this webinar coming up soon on February 12th. If you're interested, just go to my website and it's on the front page. You can register for the webinar. It is Canine Guardian Etiquette, and it's all about that. And we as humans need to up our game as far as reading body language, and that's learning to read dogs' body language, which is completely different than our body language. There are things that we do that are similar. There are things that we do that dogs can understand easily, and then there's things that we do that are vastly different than our canines. So when we need to read body language, we need to learn how to read our dog's body language, because a lot of us have no idea how dogs speak. And that's, to be a good canine guardian, you should understand what your dog is saying to you, just even with their body. And they shoot communications to each other and to you constantly. As far as humans reading humans, that's something that we need. All it takes is paying attention and seeing these things. A lot of times we won't even see what someone is meaning because we're not looking at body language. And that's where it's funny, because in our world of technology, instant messaging and texting and sending emails, a lot of what we're trying to say gets lost in communication, because we can't see how someone is actually portraying that message to us. We can't feel it. All we can do is read the words. So I sent someone an instant message the other day, or a text, sorry, and it was completely misunderstood. And I actually sent another one, kind of humorous, because I realized what had happened, because I wasn't there to kind of be smiling and deliver it kind of jokingly. It was taken as a really seriously kind of misunderstanding, I guess you could say. So I think it's really interesting when people don't use their ability to read each other's body language. And they're, even humans, we're so low on the body language as far as communication, because we rely on our voice, we rely on typing, that we've lost a lot of our ability to see what somebody is saying and see what somebody means, the feeling, the emotion behind a message. And I think it's very important that we kind of improve on that. And of course, technology is taking that away even further, because we're not there. We're not face to face. We're not seeing each other communicate. And just like this, when I do a YouTube and I'm videoing myself, you can see what I'm meaning, but this now is just my voice that you're listening to. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about this morning, is just humans reading other humans. And it's very important that we be able to do that and not walk around clueless. My body language to others when I'm on a walk and I get Elsa on my right side, I see another dog, I rein her in right away, calmly. I'm very calm about it. I'm not panicked. But it is quite clear that I am not into an interaction with them or their dogs. I'm more than happy to say hi, how's it going, as we walk by, but we're not out to interact with these people and their dogs. So it's very important that we clue in on these kind of communications, body language, and not lose that totally, because it really it makes us that much smarter and that much more able to understand what people are saying even before they say any words to us. So all it takes is paying attention. That's it. So I hope you have a great day. I'm planning on doing these a little bit earlier in the morning. This morning I had to wait for the chaos to stop. Riggs and Elsa got into a huge playing thing for probably a good 45 minutes. So I had to wait because it's very loud and very noisy. And so hopefully I'm trying to get these out first thing in the morning so that you can maybe listen while you have your coffee and start your day off in the world of canines. This is Sherry from Just Dogs with Sherry. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you tomorrow.